What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Thunderbite29 here, and yep, I am back today with another video, but this time I figured since I did the video talking about my review of all Chapter 2 seasons, today I'm deciding to make one final review. This will be my very last rant in all of Chapter 2, and today I'm going to be talking about why Chapter 2 Season 8 was terrible. So without further ado, let's begin, shall we? So, obviously, the first reason will be the Brutes, aka the Mechs, which I really should have talked about earlier this season, which I regret not making a video on. I figured, let's talk about it now. So, the Mechs were one of the most hated items in Season X, also known as Chapter 1, Season 10, and suddenly out of nowhere, they were reintroduced again this season. Of course, it also didn't really get as many reviews, and it also was not well liked. It's the same as it was originally. If you had one, you were unstoppable, and if you didn't have one, you were going to have a bad day. There was one thing that could have countered the Mechs, but instead, the Fortnite community voted against it, which is, number 2, vote for the combat shotgun instead of the boogie bomb. And the boogie bomb actually could have countered the Mechs because if you threw one, you could have threw the other player out of the mech and they would have been stunned. But nope, combat shotgun, which basically helped the players in the Mechs become completely unstoppable, just like Season X. And number 2, barely any map changes. The only thing that changed in the map was the very center of it when they made it cube land. And I just thought at the beginning it was completely lazy because they didn't really do anything with the map except just rename a couple locations, but left them completely the same, as I mentioned in my very first rant at the start of the season. And number 4, the reboot system. As originally, it was always, when you get killed, you get a reboot card, and you'd have like 100 seconds to pick up the reboot card, but instead, this season, they made it like 300 seconds, which I didn't like. It's because rebooting players was so much more easier than it was. They should have kept the reboot system the same as it originally has been, instead of touching it and making it so much more easier. And of course, number 5, crossovers. We had seen so many crossovers this season, but thankfully, not as many as there was in the previous season, which was Chapter 2, Season 7. And number 6, I did not like a couple of the weapons, like the charged shotgun being reintroduced. I did not like that because, like I said, the slow fire rate. And I did not like the semi-automatic sniper because people just constantly spammed with it. And that's all you saw. And when you're in the middle of a fight, you have someone third-partying you with the semi-automatic sniper, and it was just freaking annoying. I wish the bolt-action snipers were still in the game because you couldn't spam with it like you could with the semi-automatic sniper. And I did not like the P90 either because, just like the semi-automatic, people just spam with it. And basically, the P90 requires no skill at all, like I said before, because all you do is spray and pray with it, and that's it. But before I get to the conclusion, let's talk about some positives. Like, I did like some of the weapons that they had to offer. I also liked the Halloween event, which in my opinion was probably the best Halloween event in all of Chapter 2. Probably at least my favorite one, like one I can actually get some enjoyment out of. But in conclusion, this season was kind of disappointing. Like, I didn't like the fact that they took out the bolt action snipers and replaced them with a spam sniper. I didn't hate that sniper at first, but this season made me hate it. I didn't like the fact that the tac shotgun once again got replaced by the charged shotgun, one of the most useless shotguns in the entire game. And I didn't like the fact that the P90 also made a return, because people spam with it. And I didn't like the fact that the reboot system, instead of it being challenging and a rush against time, that they made it like 300 seconds. Like, it shouldn't be that easy to reboot somebody. It should be the way it's always been. And like I said before, I do not like lazy map changes. Like, you don't touch a map, but all you do is rename locations. We didn't start seeing significant changes to the map until like the middle of the season when they added in Cube Land. And at the beginning of the season, I did not like the fact that it was an extreme sweat show. Like in the first week, third partying was so much more common, and so many people were just sweating their asses off when it comes to playing this game. Like, you're in the middle of a build fight, it gets really intense. and then people third-party you with the semi-automatic sniper, which is the reason why I hated it. Even the original semi-auto sniper didn't spam or have that fast of a fire rate. And Epic once again needs to chill with the crossovers. I understand that some of them were like Halloween fitted, but I'm talking about the ones outside that are not even related to the game at all. Like, they need to chill with the crossovers and start limiting them to like a smaller number instead of doing like 10 or 20 of them every single season. Even though I thought this season was disappointing and I didn't like it as much, but do I think this was the worst season of all time? No. But like I said before, you can't expect everything to be perfect every single time. Sometimes they're going to make successful things, sometimes they're going to make screw-ups. Like, video games have their rises and they have their falls. Sometimes you have ups and you have downs, but that's just normal. And we've seen that a lot in Chapter 2, like, you've seen that in Chapter 2 Season 1, Chapter 2 Season 2, Chapter 2 Season 3, and 5. And it just goes on. I think the number one thing that got everybody's attention and got everyone back into the game again was the fact that we're now going to be going into a new chapter in the very next season, as we are now just about 4 days away. I'm stunned, and when I first heard of it, I thought it was all just a big joke or just some online conspiracy theory, but in fact, it's true, as we are now just 1 day away from the very end of Chapter 2 altogether. But I will not forget all the good memories I have had during the last 2 years. Even though it might not look like I did, but don't get me wrong, in a way I still did. But anyways, goodbye Chapter 2. And what did you all think of Chapter 2? What did you think of Chapter 2 Season 8 in general? Let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts. Like this video and subscribe if you agree. And thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all for the great support during all of Chapter 2. And I will see you all tomorrow at the End event. And this is Thunderbite29 signing off.